under Section 137, subsection 1D of the 1999 Constitution, because he was fined the sum of $460,000 by District Court, Northern District of Illinois. As shown above, the order of forfeiture in Exhibit PA5, on which the petitioners have relied, does not qualify as a sentence of fine for an offense involving dishonesty or fraud within the contemplation of Section 137 sub D of the 1999 Constitution. As regards whether paragraph E of Section 137(1) will be read together with paragraph D of that subsection, the settled rule of interpretation of the Constitution or statute is that where the court is faced with two or more differing provisions over the same subject of general provision, on the principle that by enacting a separate provision for a part of the general class intends that the said part shall not be treated the same with the general class. The Uchuku Nata versus Attorney General Anambra State, Martin Freuder and others versus Major and Co. Nigeria Limited, but FMBN versus Olo. In both paragraph D and E of Section 137, subsection 1, a sentence for the offense of involving dishonesty is mentioned, but in paragraph E, a limitation of 10 years has been introduced. Then it means, in respect of the sentence for offense of dishonesty, the two paragraphs must be read together, such that for conviction and sentence for an offense involving dishonesty, it must be within a period of less than 10 years before the date of the election, in order for such a conviction and sentence to be used for disqualifying a presidential candidate from contesting the election. It is also a cardinal principle interpretation of the Constitution that relevant provisions must be read together and not disjointedly. Abegunde and the State House of Assembly. From all the foregoing, it is clear that having regard to the provisions of Section 137 of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended and the evidence laid before this court, the second respondent was not disqualified from contesting the presidential election held on 26 February 2023. Consequent issue 1 is hereby resolved against the petitioners and in favor of the respondent. Issue 2 is whether, having regard to the evidence adduced by the parties, the petitioners has established that there was substantial non-compliance with the provisions of the Electoral Act 2022 and that the non-compliance substantially affected the results of the election. Again, we shall skip the submissions of counsel. Well, the appropriate starting point for the resolution of this issue is to first consider the objection of the first respondent to ground 2 of the petition, which they raised at preliminary stage, but which we deferred to this stage because it touches on the substance of the petition. The first respondent objection is that the petitioners are stopped from relitigating the issue contained in paragraph 2, paragraphs 33 to 79, as well as reliefs 5.1 and 2 of the petition, as is related to electronic transmission and collation of the election results in view of the subsisting judgment of the Federal High Court in suit number FHC ABS CS 1454/2022, Labour Party Independent Electoral Commission, delivered 23rd January 2023. Certified, 2 copies of which they attached to their petition as Exhibit A, and which was later tendered in evidence at trial as Exhibit X1. The first respondent particularly referred this court to paragraph 55 and 74 of the petition and submitted that the facts alleging non-compliance with the Electoral Act, which are set out in paragraph 33 of the petition, are hinged on the same issue of electronic transmission of results, which was resolved against the second petitioner in the said suit number FHC ABSC 1454/2022, to the effect that there is no mandatory requirement for the first respondent to electronically transmit results of the election. Reliance was placed on Bambegin and others was Oriare Oye Roba and another versus Laupa. An examination of petitioner petition and Exhibit X1 shows that in their petition, specifically paragraph 37, 45 and 45, the petitioners have averred as follows. The petitioners aver that at the conclusion of the election and at each polling unit, the presiding officer was mandatorily required to electronically transfer the result of the polling unit directly to the collation system of the first respondent. In addition, the presiding officer was also mandatorily required to use the beavers to upload a scanned copy of the Form EC8A to the first respondent's result viewing portal, RF, in real time. 45, the petitioners aver that apart from the importance of the beavers in the capture of accreditation at polling unit in an election, the beavers is also mandatorily to be used in the process of uploading the information or data imputed into it by the first respondent's presiding officer at each polling unit, who shall, upon completion of voting and due recording and announcement of result, 1, electronically transmit the result of the polling unit directly to the collation system as described by the first respondent. 2, use the beavers to upload or a scanned copy of the Form EC8A to the annual result viewing portal, RF, as prescribed by the first respondent. And 3, take the beavers and the original copy of each of the forms in tamper-evident envelope to the registration area reward collection officer in the company of security agents. The polling agents may accompany the presiding officer to the registration area reward collection center. In Exhibit X1, the certified true copy of the judgment of the Federal High Court in suit number FHC ABJ CS 1454-2022 Supra, which the first respondent is contending to constitute estoppel to ground 2 of this petition. The sole question presented for determination in the originating summons is as follows. Whether, having regards to combined effect of sections 47(2), 52, 64, 65, and 62(1) and 2, and other relevant provisions of the Electoral Act 2022, the respondent can still insist on manual collation of results in the forthcoming general election. Upon determination of the above questions, the plaintiff, which is the second petitioner herein, sought for the following reliefs. 1, a declaration that the respondent has no power to opt for manual method other than electronic method provided for by the relevant provisions of the Electoral Act. 2, an order of this honorable court directing or compelling the respondent to comply with the Electoral Act 22 on electronic transmission of results in the forthcoming general election. In its judgment in Exhibit X1, the Federal High Court held as follows. In view of the foregoing, can the act of the defendant on collecting and transferring election results manually in the forthcoming 2023 general election be said to be contrary to the relevant provisions of the Electoral Act 2022? The answer can only be in the negative, as there is nowhere in the above cited sections where the Commission or any of its agents is mandated to only use an electronic means in collecting or transferring of election results. If any, the Commission is only mandated to collect and transfer election results and number of accredited voters in a way or manner deemed by it. In view of the above, I am finding that by the provision of sections 52 and 65 of the Electoral Act 2022, the correct interpretation of said statute is that the defendant, Independent National Electoral Commission, is at liberty to prescribe the manner in which election results could be transmitted and are so called. Consequently, this matter is hereby dismissed. Close of court. It is tried law that for a judge in a subsequent action, it must have finally decided the same issue in contention between the same parties or their previous. The Anchorage Leisures Limited and others versus Eco Bank Nigeria Limited, and Adebayo versus Babalola and others. From the averments contained in the petitioner's petition, which I have earlier reproduced above, it is clear that the petitioner allegation of non-compliance averred in paragraph 2 of the petition is hinged on the contention that INEC was mandatorily required to electronically transmit or transfer the results of the polling units directly to the collation system of the first respondent, and also mandatorily required to use a beavers to upload a scanned copy of the Form EC8A to the first respondent result viewing portal, IREF, in real time. First, it is evident that in both this petition and in Exhibit X1, the parties are the same. In that second petitioner herein was the sole petitioner plaintiff in Exhibit X1, while the first respondent herein was the sole defendant in Exhibit X1. Secondly, from the above referred averments in this petition and the relief sought by the petitioner in in Exhibit X1, it is clear that the issue in both cases is whether the first respondent herein is mandatorily required to electronically transmit or transfer election results from the polling unit direct to the collation system. With the judgment of the Federal High Court was manual collation of the various forms EC8A, EC8B, EC8C, EC8D, and EC8E of the presidential election. See paragraph 31 of the first respondent's reply. He also stated that the BVAS is designed to upload the accreditation data at the end of the accreditation process and transmit the result of the election at a polling unit through the e-transmission system, which is uploaded to the first respondent result viewing portal, IREF. The first respondent further averred that the upload of data or images captured and automatically restored on the BVAS device requires data service, and where there is no such data service, where the service is poor, the BVAS service is designed to work offline, and the upload of data will occur when data service is available. They also stated that polling unit results were duly uploaded on the first respondent e-transmission system by the respective presiding officers at the end of the election, but some of the results were not visible on the RF portal due to the technical glitch experienced on the election day. In specific response to the petitioner's allegation of failure, refusal, and neglect to instantly transmit and upload the results electronically from the BVAS to the RF, the first respondent stated in paragraph 55, Romans 7 and 10 as follows. Immediately after the election of 25th February 2023, polling unit results were uploaded and received by the e-transmission system whilst using the BVAS. There was a temporary failure of communication between the e-transmission system and the IRF portal for the presidential election. In this regard, the e-transmission system returned an HTTP 500 error, which is an application error such that transmitted results, though received on the in-transmission application hosted on the AWS, the in-transmission could not organize and push the results instantly to the presidential module on the RF portal because it could not map the result uploaded for the presidential election to any state. The first respondent pleads and shall rely on the AWS CrowdTrail logs indicating patches deployed to fix the error from technical glitch on the election day. Upon resolution of the HTTP 500 error, the results which were delayed in the e-transmission system were eventually organized and pushed to the RF portal. The results are available as generated in the original form from the polling unit using the BVAS. The first respondent stated that the technical glitch did not in any way affect the result of the presidential election. However, in paragraph 37 of their reply to the first respondent reply, the petitioners denied that there was any technical glitch experienced on election day as contended by the first respondent, and stated that the failure of the first respondent to upload the presidential election results using the BVAS to the RF was a ploy to manipulate the actual results of the election. As indicated in their pleadings and submissions of counsel, the petitioner's allegation of non-compliance with the Electoral Act 2022 and the regulations and guidelines for the conduct of elections 22 is anchored on the provisions of sections 47.2, 61.2 and 5, 64.4a and b, 64.5 and 73.2 of the Electoral Act, and paragraph 38.1 and 2, 48a, b, c, 55, Roman 5, 7 and 20, 51.2, 54.12 and 55.12, 93 of the regulations and guidelines. I have carefully considered the submissions of the parties on this issue of non-compliance with the Provincial Electoral Act and the paragraphs of the regulations and guidelines for the conduct of the election 2022. The Independent National Electoral Commission, the first respondent herein, is established by Section 153, subsection 1F of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, and part of its functions are stated on paragraph 15 in Item F, Part 1 of the third schedule to the state constitution, is to organize, undertake, and supervise elections, including election to the office of the president and vice president, among other political officers listed. In a creation of the Constitution, INEC is empowered by Section 160, subsection 1 of the Constitution to make its own rules or otherwise regulate its own procedure and in so doing, it shall not be under the control of the President. Indeed, by Section 158, subsection 1 of the Constitution, INEC shall not be subject to direction or control of any authority person. By Section 4 of the 1999 Constitution, the legislative powers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is vested in the National Assembly, which in the exercise of that power has enacted the Electoral Act 2022 to regulate the conduct of elections in the federal, state, and area councils of the Federal Capital Territory. Section 47, subsection 2 of the Electoral Act, relied upon by the petitioners, mandates every presiding officer to use a smart card reader or any other technological device that may be prescribed by the Commission for the accreditation of voters to verify, confirm, or authenticate the particulars of the intending voter in the manner prescribed by the Commission. Also, under Section 65 of the Act, the presiding officer shall transfer the results of the election, including the total number of accredited voters and the results of the ballot, in a manner as prescribed by the Commission. Section 62 sub 1 of the Act specifically provides that after the recording and announcement of the result, the presiding officer shall deliver same along with the election materials under security and accompanied by the candidates or their agents where available to such person as may be prescribed by the Commission. Further, Section 64.4 states that the collation officer or returning officer at an election shall collate and announce the results of an election subject to his or her verification and confirmation that A, number of accredited voters stated on the collected results are correct and consistent with the number of accredited voters recorded and transmitted directly from polling units under Section 47, subsection 2 of the Act, and B, the votes stated on the collected results are correct and consistent with the votes or results recorded and transmitted directly from the polling units under Section 60, subsection 4 of the Act. At this stage, it should be noted that Section 47, sub 2, referred to in Section 64.4a, relates to the procedure for accreditation of voters by the presiding officer using the technological device prescribed by the Commission. As for Section 64, referred to in Section 44b of the Act, it only mandates the presiding officer to count and announce the result at the polling unit. In fact, subsection 5 of Section 60 goes ahead to mandate the presiding officer to transfer the result, including total number of accredited voters and the results of the ballot in a manner prescribed by the Commission. The Act also provides in Section 64.5 that the collation officer or returning officer shall use the number of accredited voters recorded and transmitted directly from polling units under Section 47.2 of the Act, and the votes or results recorded and transmitted directly from polling units under Section 64 of the Act to collect and announce the result of an election if a collected result at his or her lower level of collection is not correct. From the aforementioned sections, it is clear that while subsection 4 of Section 64 provides, subsection 5 also provides for what the collation or returning officer will use to collect the results. Subsection 6 of the same section provides for what the collation or returning officer will use to determine the correctness of disputed result where there is a dispute. These are A, the original of the disputed collected result for each polling unit where the election is disputed, which in our view means the physical or hard copy of the disputed result. B, the technological device used for accreditation of voters in each polling unit where the election is disputed. C, the data of accreditation recorded and transmitted directly from each polling unit where the election is disputed as prescribed under Section 47, subsection 2 of the Act. And D, the votes and result of the election recorded and transmitted directly from each polling unit where the election is disputed and as prescribed under Section 64 sub 4 of the Act, which requires only the counting and announcement of the results of the polling unit. A careful examination of the above sections, relied upon by the petitioners, show that the Electoral Act had used the words deliver in Section 62, subsection 1, transfer in Section 60, subsection 5, and transmitted directly in sections 50 sub 2, 64, 4, 5, and 6 of the Electoral Act 2022, in stating how results of election should be handled under those provisions. A look at the definitions of those words in the Black's Law Dictionary 6th edition shows that the word transfer is defined at page 1497 as to convey or remove from one place, person, etc. to another, or to pass or hand over from one to another, or to specifically to change over the possession or control. The word transmit, on the other hand, is defined by the same law dictionary to mean to send or transfer from one person or place to another, or to communicate. In my view, the Electoral Act 2022 has used the words deliver, transfer, and transmitted directly, interchangeably, to describe how the results of the election shall be moved from one stage to another until the results are finally collated and declared. In all these, the Electoral Act 2022 has not specifically provided that the result of the election shall be electronically transmitted. It is in the exercise of its powers under Section 160, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution, and Section 148 of the Electoral Act 2022, that the first respondent does annex herein made the regulations and guidelines for the conduct of elections 2022, as well as annex manual for election officials 2023. In paragraphs 14A and 18A of the regulations, the first respondent prescribed the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, as the technological device for the purpose of accreditation and verification of voters in the 2023 general election. The petitioners have also hinged their allegation of non-compliance on paragraph 38(1) and 2, 48A, B, C, 55 and 7 and 20, 51(2), 54(7), 55(7), and 93 regulations and guidelines. Paragraph 38 of the regulation provides as follows. Extensive, you get a copy of the guidelines, you will see here we have produced it in this judgment. From the foregoing provisions of the regulations and guidelines relied upon by the petitioners, it is clearly evident to me that although the Electoral Act has provided in Section 62, subsection 1, for the delivery by the presiding officer of the result along with other election materials under security and accompanied by candidates or their polling agents were available, such a person as may be prescribed by the first respondent. The first respondent has, by paragraph 38 of the regulations and guidelines quoted above, introduced electronic transmission to a collation system, in addition to the physical transfer of the election results to the registration area of ward collation officer. As stated earlier, the technological device as prescribed by ANIC in the conduct of the 2022 election is the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS. The function of the BVAS, as stated in paragraph 14A and 18A, is for verifying the voter through a positive identification of the voter and authentication of the voter by matching his or her fingerprints or face, facial recognition, thus accrediting the voter to vote at the election and storing the data and number of such accredited voters. By paragraph 38, 2 and 3 of the regulations, the BVAS is also to be used by the presiding officer to upload a scanned copy of the EC8A to the ANEC result viewing portal, IREF, after which the presiding officer shall take the BVAS and the original copy of each of the forms to the registration area from ward collation officer. From the above functions of the BVAS, it is clear to me that apart from using the BVAS to scan the physical copy of the polling unit result and upload same to the IREF, there is nothing in the regulation to show that the BVAS was meant to be used to electronically transmit or transfer the result of the polling unit direct to collation system. It should be noted that the ANEC results viewing portal, RF, is not a collation system. The Supreme Court in Oyetola and ANIC 2023, ANIC 23 LPELR, has explained the difference between the collation system and the IREF. In that case, IGIM JSC held as follows court. As their names depict, the collation system and the INEC result viewing portal are part of the collation process, the election process, and play particular roles in that process. The collation system is made of the centers where results are collected at various stages of the election. So the polling unit results transmitted to the collation system provides a relevant collation officer a means to verify a polling unit result as the need arises for the purpose of collation. The results transmitted to the result viewing portal is to give the public at large the opportunity to view the polling unit results on the election day. The community reading of the relevant provisions of the Electoral Act 2022, the regulations and guidelines for the conduct of elections 2022, and the ANEC Manual for Election Officials 2023 show that the Electoral Act provides in Section 62, subsection 1, that after recording and announcement of the result, the presiding officer shall deliver same along with election materials under security and accompanied by the candidates or their polling agents to such persons as may be prescribed by the Commission. The regulations and guidelines, as well as the ANEC manual, also state that hard copies of election results shall be used for the collation, and it is only where no such hard copies of the election results exist that electronically transmitted results or results from the IREF will be used to collect results. The petitioners who contend that ANEC was mandatorily required to electronically transmit the election results to the collation system have called PW2 as an expert witness who stated that he is a software engineer. He stated that he was aware that ANEC was mandated to electronically transmit or transfer the results from the polling unit direct to the collation system as prescribed by ANEC. He stated that the IRF portal is part of the technological architecture developed or deployed by ANEC for the storage, management, display, and uploading of polling unit results to be accessed by the public. However, under cross-examination, he admitted that he was not familiar with the operations and application of the Beavers machine, and that his investigations and findings were on the ANEC IRF portal. He also agreed that it was only ANEC that could prescribe the method of transmission of election results. PW4 was also called as an expert witness by the petitioners, even though he stated that part of his brief by Labour Party was to determine ANEC compliance with the Electoral Act 2022 and the ANEC regulations and guidelines for conduct of the elections 2022. He prevaricated under cross-examination by the first respondent when he first stated that ANEC at the IRF portal is an electronic collation system, but later recanted and said the IRF portal is not capable of collating and or tabulating the results of an election. The witness also stated under cross-examination by the second and third respondents that it is the image of Form EC8A that will be transmitted to IRF, while the hard copy of the Form EC8A will be taken to the Ward Collation Center. As for PW7, also called as expert witness by the petitioners, her evidence was basically in respect of the health status of Amazon Web Services, which hosted the ANEC IRF portal. The testimony of PW8, the cyber security expert, also called by the petitioners, also related to the ANEC IRF portal. On the part of the first respondent, RW1, Dr. Lawrence Bayode, the Deputy Director in the ICT Department of the first respondent, has testified that contrary to the assertion of the petitioners in paragraph 37 of the petition, there was no collation system of the first respondent to which polling unit results were mandatorily required to be electronically transmitted or transferred directly by the presiding officer. He stated that the prescribed mode of collation was manual collation of the various forms EC8As, EC8Bs, EC8Cs, EC8Ds, and EC8Es for the presidential election. He explained that the Beavers machine was designed to upload accreditation data at the end of the accreditation process and scan and transmit the results of the polling unit results through the e-transmission system to the IRF portal. Even as this witness was cross-examined by the petitioner's counsel, he was not cross-examined on his evidence that INEC has not established any collation system to which results will be electronically transmitted from the polling units. Thus, his testimony on that fact remained unchallenged and uncontroverted. It is settled law that the court has a duty to act on unchallenged and uncontroverted evidence. The Bromwen Energy Trading Company Limited, OAN Overseas Agency, Ogunyade versus Oshunke, and others. In addition, RW2, called by the second and third respondents, had testified that the first respondent, through its chairman, made clarifications on 23rd of February 2023 that raw figures of election results will not be transmitted electronically by the first respondent, as such transmission was susceptible to hacking. He identified exhibits R24 and RA24 and RA25 as documents he referred to in his statement. These are the certified true copies of pages 28 and 27 of Tribunal newspapers of 23rd February 2023, wherein the chairman made the said clarification. As indicated in our ruling on objections to documents, the petitioners did not object to the contents of exhibits RA24 and RA25, but only stated that they were objecting to the heading, but not the contents. We overruled that objection in our ruling because the reason advanced by the petitioners' counsel did not amount to a proper objection to those documents. Also noteworthy that the petitioners never cross-examined RW2 on his oral evidence and the said exhibits in support of his oral evidence. In exhibit RA24, the ANEC chairman was reported to have stated that raw figures will not be transmitted because the law does not allow for electronic transmission of results and because it is susceptible to hacking. He stated that only scanned copies of polling unit results will be uploaded to the RF for public view. From the evidence led by the parties on this issue, it is clear that apart from testifying that the first respondent failed to transmit scanned copies of polling unit results to the ANEC RF portal, none of the witnesses called by the petitioners had given evidence of the existence of any collation system to which the results shall be electronically transmitted by the presiding officers of the first respondent. Contrary to the contention of the petitioners that under the regulations it will not be possible to collect the presidential election results without verifying them with the electronically transmitted results, paragraph 92 of the same regulations categorically provides that at every level of collation, where the ANEC copy of collected result from the immediate lower level of collation exists, it shall be adopted for collation. In addition, paragraph 48C of the regulations provides that if no result has been directly transmitted electronically for a polling unit or any level of collation, the provision of clause 93 of this regulation shall apply. The said clause 93 of the regulations, which I had earlier quoted, provides that where the ANEC hard copy of collected result from the immediate lower level of collation does not exist, the collation officer shall use electronically transmitted results or results from the RF portal to continue collation. And where none of this exists, the collation officer shall ask for the duplicate copies issued by the Commission to the Nigerian police or to the agents of political parties in that order. The foregoing provisions of the Electoral Act and the ANEC regulations clearly show that it is not correct, as contended by the petitioners, that results of the election cannot be validly collected without the electronically transmitted results. Indeed, the regulations primarily provide for manual transmission or transfer and collation of results. There is nothing in the Electoral Act or the ANEC regulations and guidelines to show that an electronic collation system was prescribed by the Commission to which results will be electronically transmitted. Thus, the petitioners were unable to establish the assertion that the first respondent is mandatorily required to electronically transmit the polling unit results to a collation system. The first respondent, on the other hand, has adduced unchallenged evidence that apart from the ANEC RF portal, no collation system was established by the first respondent to which result of the presidential election must be electronically transmitted for collation. It is therefore my finding that both the Electoral Act and the regulations and guidelines provide for manual collation of election results and the election electronic transmission to a collation system apparently introduced by the first respondent in the regulations and guidelines are not mandatory as contended by the petitioners herein. Also, my finding based on the evidence adduced that the only collation system put in place by the first respondent in the conduct of the presidential election is comprised of the fiscal collation centers in the registration areas or ward collation centers, local government area collation centers, state collation centers, and the national collation centers elaborately stated in paragraphs 47, 50, 53, 54, and 55 of the regulations and guidelines for the conduct of elections 2022. With regard to the petitioner's contention that the first respondent deliberately failed to upload results viewing portal, RF real time. The petitioners averred in paragraph 53, 97, 98, the petition that the petitioner also 53. The petitioner also contend that in manifest violation of the first respondent regulations and the Electoral Act 2022, the results of the presidential election held in the polling units were not fully uploaded on the RF as at the time of the purported declaration of the second respondent as the winner of the presidential election, which gave room for manipulation of the said results by officials of the respondent. 97. The first respondent, via a written communication, sought to excuse the manifest non-compliance with the requirements of the Electoral Act 22 and the regulations by claiming that there were glitches in the electoral system which prevented it, that first respondent, from uploading the results of the presidential election from the polling units to the RF portal on the day of the election. The said written communication is hereby pleaded. 98. The petitioner shall contend that the alleged glitches in the electronic system installed and managed by the first credit unlawful votes to the second respondent and thereby wipe out the or remove the uploaded results. It is said that a petitioner who alleges non-compliance with the Electoral Act has the legal burden to establish that non-compliance and show how the non-compliance substantially affected the result of the election. Ladoja and Ajimwabi, Shinkafi and Yari. In proof of their assertion, the petitioners subpoenaed PW7 and PW8 as expert witnesses, but the respondents challenged their competence to testify because their witness statements on oath were not front-loaded along with the petition, as mandatorily required by paragraph 45 of the first schedule to the Electoral Act. In my ruling at the earlier part of this judgment, I had upheld the respondent's objection and struck out the evidence which include their witness statements on oath and the documents and or reports tendered there through them. These are exhibits PJ PCJ-A to F, PCJ-4, 6 reports of AWS health dashboard status and certificate of compliance tendered through PW7, and Exhibit PCK1 metadata admitted through PW8. However, notwithstanding that position, I shall proceed to consider the evidence of PW7 and PW8 and the other witnesses called by the petitioners. PW7 claimed to be a cloud engineer or architect, an employee of Amazon Web Services. She stated that she is not only a member of the Labour Party, the petitioner is herein, but she contested election as a candidate for member House of Representatives for Ogoja, Strogyala, Federal Constituency of Cross River State. She stated that for an IT application, the SDLC includes requirement gathering, analysis, and design. Population centers to and design, yes. The development from implementation, testing the code, staging the software and development and deployment. She stated that she was aware that at the process of testing and staging of software code and problems or challenges, any problems or challenges with the software will usually show and or be flagged. She stated that each function is supposed to be tested and any issues flagged ought to be remedied before deploying the software. He stated that if a software from application has any glitch, such a glitch will pop up, that is flagged at the testing stage. She stated that from her preliminary review of the public viewing facing the RF website, she is aware that the polling unit results images are stored in Amazon S3 and AWS storage service. She stated that as an employee of AWS, the AWS has a service level agreement, SLA, with its customers, which is accessible to the public on docs.aws.amazon.com, and that by the SLA for S3 service, it is designed to provide 99.999% durability and 99.99% availability of objects stored over a year. He said this is accessible to the public on http docs.aws.amazon.com, Amazon S3 latest user guide data durability.html. He stated that the AWS code servers are hosted in 33 regions. The health status of AWS cloud service for all regions for the past 12 months from date is accessible to the public on http://health.aws.amazon.com health status. It stated that the health status of each service in each region on February 25, 2023, indicated that there were no glitches on any of the AWS cloud service. Stated that from the post-event summary by AWS, the last time a significant outage occurred on the AWS cloud servers was on December 10, 2021, which was an internal connectivity issue that affected EC2, API, and Container API, among other, a malfunctioning as a result of which the application, by the creation of patches, refers to a series of executed into the software to change its current state. PW7 admitted that she missed that she missed production maintenance, which is an important element of software development life cycle. She denied that glitches occur at post-production maintenance stage and stated that it appears at the testing stage. She stated that she was aware the first respondent's personal health dashboard is not before the court. She admitted that the EWS adopts a shared responsibility of the infrastructure and not security. He admitted that in order to know what happened when applications deployed on AWS infrastructure by a customer, it is not necessary to get a technical report. EW7 also stated that she is familiar with AWS CloudTrail, and there is a CloudTrail for every AWS account and for every API action, made the best way to know what transpired. She stated that it is highly unusual for glitches to occur for primary functions of applications in production. She stated that she was not aware that glitches happened with the Central Bank of Nigeria e-money project. For the one that happened with the MTN Mono PSG. She admitted that she was a candidate for the Labour Party at the last election. She also admitted that the subpoena under which she came to court was served on her personally and not on Amazon Web Services. Also on cross-examination by the second and third respondents, EW7 admitted that Exhibit PCJ2, which she presented as her employment verification letter, was not signed by anyone, but insisted that there is the name of Employment Resource Center written on it. She also admitted that she had been attending the court and watching the proceedings before the day of her testimony. She admitted that the report she presented before the court is public information posted by Amazon, and that it is available and accessible to the public. She, however, insisted that the report is hers because she was the one who downloaded it, brought them to the court. PW7 also admitted under cross-examination that she won that in her affidavit. She stated that INEC site crashed. PW7 also stated that she was aware that EWS experienced outage of several hours on Tuesday, 28th February 2017, and that as at 2021, AWS also was reported to have suffered more than 27 outages. He also admitted that what was sent to RF was the image of the phone. From ECHA. On cross-examination by the fourth respondent, PW someone stated that she did not know about password protocols and cannot speak about password protocol to modify the applications of ANIC. He admitted that the open cross access information she downloaded in her report cannot be amended by her. In fact, she admitted that she was not representing Amazon Web Services in this case. However, insisted that she is an expert. She stated that she was aware of glitch which affected Japan brokers in September 2021. But stated that the last one she was aware of was in December 2021. As to whether glitches can happen again, she stated that anything is possible. In his evidence, PW1 Dr. Chibike Ugoike another expert witness called by the petitioners stated that he is a cybersecurity and risk advisory consultant and that he was approached by the Labour Party to provide expert evidence in this petition. He said he had read the Electoral Act 2022 and the ANIC regulations and guidelines for the conduct of elections 22 and the ANIC manual for election officials 2023, with particular attention to the relevant provisions dealing with uploading and transmission of election results from the polling units using the beavers to RF. A conclusion on the totality of this witness is that it is devoid of any probative value. As for PWA, he has demonstrated that he worked to an answer for deployment, any functionality error or bug.
Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium.
And the upload was successful because it was able to identify the state and build the folder hierarchy for the results organization. But for the presidential
Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium.